Hello and welcome to the Power of Charms interview series. We love interviewing the clients that we work with and the people that we work with, the amazing women that I get to be in touch with, and I happen to have a really special one with me today. Kelley Durham, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Kelley is, we're involved in several things together. Kelley is an attorney and she has her own practice, but I met her through the Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary. And we met about 12 years ago and have worked on several projects together. We're also involved in a really great women's group here in Phoenix called No Women. So we've had some interaction that way. And I've just really enjoyed seeing Kelley, watching what she's doing with the Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary, and then she's also an avid traveler. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that too. But Kelley, I wanted to start out, Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary is really, really unique. This is a group of women that has been fundraising for the zoo for, is it over 60 years?
We just had our 60th anniversary last year, yes.
That is amazing. And I have not, frankly, I have not worked with another charity that has a group that is so organized and dedicated and has such vision. And now you're the president. Can you tell us about the Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary and what makes it work?
Yeah, I mean, we are the zoo's oldest volunteer fundraising organization. We actually came into existence in 1961, which was a year before the zoo even started. So we were organized to help the zoo before it even opened to the public. And basically our mission is to raise funds for the Phoenix Zoo and to promote education and conservation ideas. And we are lovingly referred to by everybody at the zoo as the zebra ladies, because whenever we go to events, our uniform is a zebra vest. So we definitely stand out. We are a wonderful group of ladies. And I do have to say, like, I am involved in a lot of different charities around the Valley, but this organization is definitely near and dear to my heart because of the individuals that are part of the organization. Mm-hmm. When you're in an organization and you actually have like something in common, where here we all love animals, like we are diehard animal lovers. Just having that creates those deeper and more meaningful relationships. So we are like just a big family. So it's,
and I think you probably all have great animal print wardrobes as well. And
yes, I'm wearing my wonderful animal print today.
I see, and you know, today I'm not, which is really weird because normally I have zebra or leopard on. But yeah, that's true. When you go to the zoo and you see the ladies all set up, they have a whole table of charity charms items, which we'll talk a little bit about, but also other items. They also coordinate the silent auctions and things like that, but they all have the zebra vests on, and it's just lovely and cohesive and great to see. One of the things I wanted to show everybody, we did a zebra charm for the auxiliary. This is the first charm that we did. Now, what I'm holding up here is an ornament. So it's a really big charm. We make a whole line of items for the zoo, starting with the zebra. And then we've just finished our 9th animal, which is the sloth.
Yes, we are super excited about the release of the sloth.
Here's our sloth.
So oh, he's so cute.
But we've had a lot of fun working together, Kelley and I, and coming up with designs. And when we do a design, you usually send us a picture about the animal, and then we make a rendering and come up with a picture. We also have done like this line of called jungle beads. They're all different bracelets that match all of your zoo animals. I happen to be wearing several zebras today.
Yeah, what's really kind of cool about how it works, Kay, is like we send you pictures of our actual animals. So every single one of our animals is based off of an animal at the Phoenix Zoo. So yeah, it's really great. We have stories about all of them. So when people are coming to buy the charity charms, we can talk to them about, hey, this sloth, it's Fernando. He's our resident star. Everybody loves him. So.
And I love you all. You name the animals as well. So cute. Fernando's is precious. Tell me though, why is the zoo so important? I think sometimes people don't understand. They just think it's a place to go see a bunch of animals and that's it.
Yeah. So, you know, why I think the Phoenix Zoo is so important. It's one of the zoos that's actually accredited through the AZA, or the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. So what that means is they have really high standards where they exemplify in the care of their animals, the conservation, research, and education of their animals. But for me, the conservation efforts of the Phoenix Zoo is what really resonates with me. They do a lot of local as well as global conservation efforts. So some of the local animals that our conservation center works with and actually breeds and reintroduces into the wild, they're the black-footed ferret, the pygmy owl, a chiricahua leopard frog, narrow-headed garter snake, Mount Graham red squirrel. There's all sorts of them. And we really do, we create breeding programs and we release them into the wild. So the black-footed ferret, quick little funny story. Since 1991, when we started our breeding program with them, we've been able to produce over 500 black-footed ferrets. And before they're able to be released into the wild, they actually have to go through what's considered a boot camp for ferrets to make sure that they're going to make it in the wild. And if they can't get past the boot camp, they're not going into the wild, because we want to make sure that they have every chance for success when they make it into the wild. So I thought that's pretty fun. A lot of people don't realize that there's that much effort and work that goes into it.
No, I mean, I have no idea.
And another fun thing is that for the black-footed ferret, because we do have them here locally, every year the Arizona Game and Fish, they do a survey, and you can actually help them and volunteer. It's up in like the Seligman area, and they go spotlighting at night because they're nocturnal animals. So you have an area where you're actually going through with a spotlight and you're making notes of any black-footed ferrets you find. And this is just how we kind of keep track of the population of the black-footed ferret here. So fun little stories, but also globally. So we also provide money and grants and volunteer hours to different global projects. One of my favorite is the Cheetah Conservation Program. And probably the reason for that is because the first time I went to Africa, I got to see up close, like really what they're doing. So in Africa, a lot of the farmers, because cheetahs will come and kill their livestock, will kill the cheetahs or create, set up traps and that kind of thing. So what the Cheetah Conservation Fund did, they actually created a program with big dogs. They brought in really large dogs to help guard the livestock. So they provide these dogs for free. They provide vet care for free. They provide food for free. And just asking the farmers, hey, just don't shoot the cheetahs. And so with this project, they've shown that just the big dog barking has warded off so many of the predators. So the cheetahs are better off, the ranchers are better off, everybody's better off. So, I mean, simple little things like that can have such a huge impact.
And people don't realize it either. And I didn't realize that you had a global reach. So I think that's really, really important. And I think it's interesting that you are so involved with the zoo because you are a tremendous animal lover. And I was telling you earlier, I think you're wild about animals, but you're also wild about travel. I love the trip to Africa. There was also a recent article done about you that I thought was fantastic. Travel, learn, and it's got pictures of you, and it's got pictures of you on the safari. I know you're travel nut, and let's talk about how that ties in with your love of animals.
Yeah, the majority of my travel is based on what animals I'm going to be able to see.
I love
the only caveat to that is baseball. I also love baseball, so I travel to go watch baseball too. But for the most part, if I'm traveling internationally or even locally, it's based on what animals am I going to be able to see, interact with, what am I going to be able to learn. So the first time I went to Africa, it was because I was able to check the #1 thing off my bucket list, which was cage diving with the great white sharks. So I got a cage dive with the great white sharks in South Africa for a week. Like, who gets to say that?
So, who gets to do that? That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Kelley, you're a major adventurer.
I am. I love traveling. I love whenever I travel anywhere, I want to make sure that I take in as much as I can, see and experience everything that I can, because who knows if you'll ever get the chance to go back. Luckily, I've been able to go back to Africa a couple times, and I'm going to be going back. I'll be going to Kenya in August.
Oh my gosh. Is that your first time to Kenya?
It'll be my first time in Kenya, going to the Masai Mara. Yeah.
And then you just got back from the Dominican Republic. You go there quite often, or?
I do love the Dominican. It is one of my favorite places. But more so because we go for winter in December. They have winter baseball there. We have friends that play in the Winter League and the Dominican League. So
I knew that baseball had some aspect of it, but
they also have good diving. I am a scuba diver, so they also do have good diving. And they have in La Samana, they actually have the whale migration goes through there. So you can see the mom and the calf whales going through La Samana area.
That would be amazing. It's fun. I love to travel as well, and it's always fun to see the indigenous animals, and I think they have little turtles in the Dominican as well. You've probably seen. Hey, what struggles and hurdles has the auxiliary had over the last few years? You know, we're so lucky right now. We're coming out of a pandemic. We can finally travel again, but you guys had to stop doing, you know, in-person events, and that was kind of your lifeblood of the auxiliary. What have you done to counteract that?
Yeah, that is for sure. The pandemic, clearly that's affected everybody across the board. Every organization has felt something from that. But yes, most of our fundraising for the zoo is in person. We do all of it at in-person zoo events, special events. That's where we sell our items. And the zoo was not doing in-person events, you know, and a lot of ladies weren't comfortable, even if we had been able to actually go and attend those events, right? So we pivoted like everybody else. We found different things to do. We did, okay, our ladies like to eat. So of course, you know, there's a lot of places that are like, okay, if you come at this night, we'll give you a certain percentage. So we literally went to every single restaurant that let us do that. And we had fundraisers that way because our ladies like to eat, our friends like to eat. So we raised a lot of funds that way. And I will say that Panda Express was probably the best one because it wasn't a local restaurant. You could go to any Panda restaurant across the nation on that day and get your funds from Panda Express. I mean, it was fantastic. So if you don't know that, now you organizations know that. It's one day through the entire nation. So clearly I know a lot of people across the nation through my travels to different zoos and different things like that. So we were just like, hey, we're doing this. And so people all across the nation went to their Panda and we got, you know, our percentage of it. And it was a really great fundraiser for us.
That's good, and it's good for people to know. And I mean, I kind of love the Panda tie-in.
right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And despite the pandemic, one of the other things, you know, the auxiliary, because we're a long-standing nonprofit, right? 60 plus years. So as a long-standing nonprofit, we have to continually reinvent ourselves, right? We have to make sure we stay relevant and on top of mind for people. So while we have a really rich and important history, we have to be able to adapt with the times. So, you know, in the past, we've done fundraisers such as we put on horse shows, which was amazing. I mean, if you guys don't know about the horse shows that the Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary put on, you should check out the Phoenix Zoo's website and read into it. It's just fantastic. The celebrities we've had, it's just amazing. Then, you know, clearly we've helped the zoo with a lot of other fundraisers. We've done handprints in glass. We're now doing a paw prints in glass fundraiser. And we actually undertook this year, a brand new large fundraiser called Animals After Dark, an aerial experience. I mean, it was an amazing event. You had animal meet and greets, we had food, silent auction, and it culminated in an absolutely beautiful aerial acrobatic show put on by the local troupe at Teletorque. I mean, it was just an amazing evening. It was such a success. And it's just important that as an organization that you're open to new ideas and you're really creative with how you implement those ideas. So
In fact, I was at that event. My husband and I went, we hadn't been out or done anything really interesting in a while, and it just was spectacular. I mean, they had people dressed up as animals doing aerial, acrobatics, and they were so expressive, and it was just so upbeat, and the music was great, and it was a beautiful night. And then the setting you guys had put together, there's so much that's involved in putting an event on that people don't even know what goes on behind the scenes.
it's a lot of work for sure.
Yeah, well, you and your team did a fantastic job with that, Kelley, and I hope maybe that can be something that you think you'll do it again.
I mean, it was a really good success, but it was a lot of work. So we are definitely having discussions. I know all of the sponsors that I know have reached out to me and said, hey, that was such a great event. If you're going to do it, I want to sponsor again. So, I mean, that's what you want to hear. You don't hear that a lot of times from sponsors, but they were just so excited. They thought it was such a great event.
So if people want to get involved with the Phoenix Zoo, of course, they can go attend. Are there things that they can sign up for, email lists, special things where they can be members, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different ways that you can become involved in the Phoenix Zoo. One, you can be involved in the Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary and you get to see me all the time. You can also become a member of the Phoenix Zoo. They have different levels or tiers of membership. I'm also a guardian level member, which is a donor level. So if you're at a guardian level, donorship level, you actually get to go to like speaker series and all these other additional events at the zoo that normal members don't necessarily get to attend. And that's a really fun inside look at how the zoo works. There's also other volunteer opportunities. So the zoo has a normal like volunteer organization where you can apply and you have to go through training to be a volunteer. So you can volunteer to work at different areas of the zoo. You can volunteer to work at zoo lights or, some events like that. And there's also, I'm on the board of the Wildest Club in Town, which is another organization at the zoo where it's basically local professionals, business owners who have a common interest in the zoo and conservation efforts, where we get together and we network and we also volunteer our time for the Phoenix Zoo.
I have not lived in other cities where they've had big zoos or really watched how they interact and how they engage with people in the community, but it seems like the Phoenix Zoo just really has so many programs for people and has such a big impact in our community. And I love the fact that there's a lot of young professionals involved in it, like you. I mean, you're a lawyer, so your part-time job is a lawyer and your full-time job is the Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary. I'm sure they're switched, but I just want to thank you, Kelley, for the service that you do, and I love the passion that you bring to our community and to the Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary. And I love the fact that it ties in with your whole life and your travel and everything. So sounds to me like you're right where you need to be right now.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely love what I'm doing. And, that is kind of my mantra. You need to live every day to the fullest, doing what you want to do, helping as many people and animals as you can possibly do.
Wow, I love it. And you're living your passion. And I thank you for sharing with us all about the auxiliary today. I wish you much fun and adventure on your next trip. The next one's Kenya, right?
Well, that's in August. I actually leave in a couple of weeks for Europe. So
and where are you going there?
Where am I not going? We're going to be in Tuscany for a week. We're going to be in Rome for a little bit. Then we're going to Spain and France, and then up to Zurich and Amsterdam. Yeah, we're doing a lot.
You're covering almost the whole entire continent. So,
and we will be hitting a couple zoos along the way.
I love it. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see the difference between European zoos and
there's a really wonderful zoo in Zurich. So I'm very excited to see that.
Well, you have to, I know you will take pictures of your travels and share them on your social media. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you? Do you have a website that you prefer people to go through?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to get in touch with me, my office website is kndlegal.com. You can email me at kd@kndlegal.com, and I can answer pretty much any questions you have about the auxiliary or the zoo. And if I don't know how to answer them, I can get you in touch with somebody that can.
Okay. Well, that's great. So we're wild about what you're doing. Love it. Thank you, Kelley, for your time today. And thank you also for all the fun that we've had developing all the animal charms for the zoo. And I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kay, I just want to say thank you again for all that you do. I mean, Charity Charms has been our longest running consistent fundraiser for the auxiliary. And it's really a great way for the auxiliary to raise funds, but it's also a great way for us to get our name out to people that wouldn't necessarily know about the Phoenix Zoo Auxiliary or the zoo, just by having a quality product that people are wearing. And then people are saying, oh, where did you get that? What is that? Right?
Oh my gosh, Kelley, thank you. Thank you. Well, everybody at the zoo certainly hasn't embraced the concept of the charms and the power that they have when you wear them and talk about it. So we are excited to be your partner. And here's to the sloth. Fernando.
I'm so excited about it.
All right, we'll see you at the next event.
All right, thanks, Kay.
Take care. Bye-bye.